Hello and welcome to Baby Boomers Can Bring Death Out of the Closet, Cyber Death Conversations. My name is Kate Loving-Shank of katelovingshank.com, author of the Prayer Prescription series and creator of the Google Hangout webinar series, Uprooting Our Fear of Death, Bringing It Out of the Closet, and the new YouTube channel called Bringing Death Out of the Closet, Cyber Death Conversations. Before we begin, I just want to tell you what I am going to talk about, which is the cultural and sociological gifts of the baby boomers in an American historical sense of the word. Please don't check your email while I'm talking or check out your Facebook page. Simply focus and concentrate on what I have to say. Also, I have a comment box on the left side of the event page right underneath this video. Please type in questions, and I will frequently ask you to answer some of my own questions. Is that fair enough? Okay. Now, first off, I published a manuscript that's been lying on my bookshelf for 17 years, and that was in March of 2014. Now, I am going to bring up the next slide. The manuscript was lying on my bookshelf for 17 years, but it was a 44-year-old situation and events that occurred 44 years ago. The name of the book is called Love of Dog, 1960s and 70s Baby Boomer Commune Stories. So why would I choose to publish this book now? Often the creative urge has no reason. Suddenly the creative urge arises and we listen to it and we follow through with it. Have any of you ever had this experience? So why now is often an unanswerable question. At least that's been my experience. The stories in the book are so bizarre that I probably was afraid to tell them before now. You've all heard the old phrase that after you reach 60 and beyond, you no longer fear telling your own truth. You are no longer afraid to tell it like it is. What stories have you been afraid to tell? And what are your stories? So I would advise not waiting until you're 60 to tell them. The book revolves around a pack of dogs, and I would call them guardian angels, who got us out of a lot of trouble. The stories in the book reveal the noble qualities of these wonderful dogs. Finally, they were shot by a redneck neighbor who hated all hippies. Animal abuse is a public health crisis. People who kill or hurt animals often go on to commit murder or other heinous acts. The man who killed our dog went on to become a powerful politician in the Republican Party who attempted to steal neighboring land, including the commune, through rezoning efforts when he built a landfill on his land. We should have pressed charges when he killed our dogs, but instead we mourned the loss of these beautiful creatures for decades, and probably forever. And it took me 28 years before I got another dog. So my story is not necessarily your story, but my story might help you heal. Now, I am not referring to stories we tell ourselves and each other every day. I am not talking about what we did or what we did or didn't do to each other. I'm not talking about gossip or complaining. What I mean is the mythic stories that change our lives and give us the will to live and make us more loving and compassionate. Do you share these stories with your friends and allies? The baby boomers heralded in the youth and freedom revolution and the love revolution. We protested the Vietnam War and brought an end to that war. The civil rights movement happened on our watch. Everything changed after our experiment with truth and sex and love, which has evolved into an unconditional understanding of what love really means today. The 1950s were predictable and often we all conformed. Remember the old saying, keeping up with the Joneses? That was the 1950s. The baby boomers changed all that. Now we are, as a generation, poised to make another grand shift and transition. As we all age together, it should be clear that we aren't going to do it like our parents did it. If we take on the challenge, my generation can single-handedly bring death out of the closet. You can see it already with death cafes where people gather together and discuss death as if it's just another topic of the day. In fact, I am planning an online cyber death cafe, but I wouldn't call it a cafe. I'm just going to call it Cyber Death Conversations in the coming weeks. In fact, this can be considered a cyber death cafe as well. Funerals have become celebrations of life. That is another change that we have seen over the years. This kind of work, bringing death out of the closet, is an inside job. As we work on becoming more and more receptive to embracing life as an ongoing adventure, death loses its grip upon our psyche. The change we want to see begins with me. So baby boomers can bring out death out of the closet. The book that I was referring to is 99 cents on Kindle. You can go to katelovingshank.com/love of dog. And also, it would be great if you would join my community. katelovingshank.com/join-my-community. And I would be able to give you 3 audio interviews I did with death and dying experts when you click those links. So that is exactly what I'm up to these days, and I hope that you join me in the adventure of bringing death out of the closet, cyber death conversations, and join my community. That looks a little backwards. I wonder if that looks forwards to you. katelovingshank.com/join-my-community. And the book, the epic memoir of my life on the commune, Love of Dog, 1960s and 70s baby boomer commune stories, is available on Kindle, 99 cents. Actually, that's katelovingshank.com/love of dog. Thank you. Namaste. Peace on earth. Love.